So we're going to be finishing up today. For those who missed our previous episode because it was just a bunch of fighting and not really that interesting. Last episode, I could not. Oh, that's loud. I could not have audio because there was a bunch of construction going on around me, and I was in the mood for some sort of Diablo style, just killing a bunch of stuff for the heck of it. So I decided to do some leveling. I ended up leveling as fighter instead of leveling as mage, just because I feel like the spells in this game just don't. They don't have the oomph that I was expecting, and so I just decided to stick with fighter. As a fighter, I was able to continue accumulating weapon proficiency slots, which I then utilized to actually be able to use this heaven and earth thing that I found. This thing actually only has a 1% drop rate, and I ended up finding two of them, but I didn't find any of the stuff that I would give to my other party members. So, kind of sad. At any rate, we are pretty much set here. Do we need anything else? I think so. So we need to bring our party members back in.
Would you like me to travel with you again? It would be my pleasure.
So, need my help yet?
Alright, well,
I knew you'd be back, Chief. Finally realized you needed me, huh?
the way that I think of this is not so much like dropping the party members. You'll note that if you look at my save file, I actually only have like day 17 total. Let's take a look at how long I was spending in. I spent like, it looks like 2 days roughly chilling in Under Sigil alone. I feel like the protagonist would be, Commodity would be like, he would want to become fully prepared for what was to come, and a couple of days of just intensive training where he's just going through and remembering all that he can about his previous fighting capabilities and things of that nature. He had a difficult time with that Celestial. He would not have a difficult time with that Celestial now. Okay, so anyway, let's see. What are we doing? We need to go to somewhere. We need to go somewhere. Where do we need to go? I need to hop over here. I'm trying to remember, how do I get to where I'm going? Okay, I remember now.
I'm gone.
Alright, so I'm actually not going to pick up... Whoops, this is the wrong place. I'm not going to pick up any of the other party members. I feel like I'll pick them up at some other playthrough. And I'm just going to proceed through. And this is the wrong place. I'm an idiot. I don't know why I went to the upper city. Okay, so going here.
All right.
And saving the game. Door has been sealed.
All right.
But like, I actually missed out on one of the party members that I intended to get. Stuff like that, which is sad and unfortunate. And we're gonna go upstairs.
All right.
Alright, we're on the second floor here. And I don't know where the portal is, but I think it's somewhere on the second floor. I think it's probably where what's-her-name was, where Iveen was. No, you'll note that the nameless one has 418 HP now. Oh, maybe the portal is where I... Like, literally right here. That'd be interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where the portal is. I'm actually gonna pop out of here quick.
Done.
Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna pop out of here quick because there is one thing that I can do that I just remembered exists. There's a,
All right.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. There's... I can talk to... Oh, it's the wrong place.
Done.
I'm gonna talk to Mebeth and see if she has anything new to say, assuming she's still here. She is. As you enter, Mebeth looks up, her face ashen, she looks ill. As you watch, creases spread across the folds in her face like cracks, and her gray eyes flicker as if having trouble focusing on you. You alright? I have a little longer. Did you know you were a rebel? Mayhap. Mebeth has forgotten herself many times over. I have dreamed that I was someone else. Each word is heavier than the last, as if centuries of weight have been pressing down on them. Her body seems to shift slightly, as if wanting to relax. Let go. How could you not know? How could you not know who you are? Coming from him. How is it ye do not know yourself? Many things, even bits of the self, they fall through memory's cracks. Shadows and things forgotten. These memory thing pieces may be bad, may be good. Here in this place, all I did was mend in things and bodies, set in bones, deliver in babies. In all these things I was content. As for that other, that ravel, I think you take for granted what a comfort it would be, oft times, to misplace a memory or two. Aye, my precious one. Seeing you here, it's like an echo. Little time remains. The threads, these ravels, they're unraveling as we speak. Yes, it is irony which hurts me the most. An act of kindness thrice repaid. It's the way of the plains that my few acts of kindness would be the death of me. Yet I have no regrets. Precious man, I would have you hear me one last time. Precious man, all I wished for to do was to set the lady free of her cage. For ye, alls I wished ye was to live, and for me daughter I... There's a saying on the plains that a hag's kindness is crueler than her hate, and poisons all she touches. Okay, I'm sorry that things turned out. I'm dying now. My end. It's traveling from all time's directions. All of Ravel's threads are unraveling. Yet, mayhap not all is lost. One of my black barb seeds from the maze. Did you bring one with ye? Yep. Ah. So the Unity Rings is served. So step closer. She whispers something softly under her breath and clasps your head with her hands and places a paper thin kiss on your forehead. You close your eyes and as her lips touch your skin. May the plains receive you kindly. What is the hell is the Unity of Rings?
I'm gone.
What is that about? And actually, there's one thing that I should probably do in the clerk's ward that I did not, and I feel bad that didn't occur to me. I'm going to tell the next of kin.
Done.
So let's talk to Kasai Saris. Okay, so I can't tell anything to the next of kin, so we're fine.
Done.
I'm surprised because the person even mentioned, like, she even mentioned her daughter. Who was that? That's just a. That's not something we need to worry about. Can I actually go to these places? Excuse me. So there's places that I have not been. There's actually several places here that I haven't been yet. But that's okay. I don't think that this is the kind of game where you need to do absolutely everything in a single playthrough. Particularly because a lot of it will depend on the type of character you're playing as. I think that that's enough. There's probably more that I don't.
All right.
What should I call it?
All right.
Yeah, they I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go back here as well. Let's see. It feels like the kind of game where you should just explore it with multiple characters. There's a lot of different ways that you can play the game. Oh, here we go. There's something about the arch in front of you, something hauntingly familiar. A bone-numbing chill blankets the air between these two black pillars, as if the arch itself bordered on some other colder space. For some reason, you know this is the portal to the Fortress of Regrets. Now all you need to do is open it. You clench your teeth and dig your fingernails into your left forearm. With a dry, tearing sound, you peel the strip of skin. The chill between the pillars becomes stronger, almost hungering, as if the portal was open to crack. The scrap of skin has been peeled from the back of your left forearm. Its scarred gray surface reminds you of a zombie's hide. It feels much more like a piece of cured leather than a strip of skin. So let's inscribe a regret. I think I regret my actions. I regret what happened to my companions is a bit of a cop out because the most key critical thing that we've done is we've done horrible things to those that followed us. But I feel like that falls under my actions, and this, the way that it's phrased, sort of declaims responsibility for it. Like, oh, I regret that bad things happened to these people. Whereas this is, I regret the things that I did to these people. No. Okay, so okay, this is a good one. Also, I feel like for Komanaton, like the Komanaton to Cone connection feels like, especially as we were wandering through Undersigil, it really brought to me how the connection between Dacone and the Nameless One is really the strongest connection out of all of these. You scrawl the regret into the scrap of flesh, but your rapid healing forces you to stop, often to reopen the cut in your finger and squeeze forth more blood. Several moments later, you finished, your blood glistening on the scrap of skin, a combination of your flesh, your blood, and your regret. As you watch the bloody regret dry, a wave of cold washes over you. You look up. The black pillars to either side of the arch are glowing softly. motes of misty blue light drifting from their sides to form a shimmering curtain between them. Beyond the curtain, you can barely make out the weathered stone causeway leading to darkness. Come this far, it would be rude of me to retire before the final hour. Even if you were to ask politely, I would not permit it. If she goes, I'll go, so I will. I'll not turn stag on you here, I won't. Your path is mine. Look, I'm not gonna say too much here, but there's something I need to tell you. What is it, Morty? Well, it's about where we've been going, or actually, where we've been. We've been? What are you talking about? It's so subtle, you almost miss it. Dacon's blade flickers the edge dulling. As you glance at him, his hands drop to his side as if he's preparing for battle. This isn't the first time we've been through this, you see. We've been to this Fortress of Regrets before, though I didn't know it then. Morty, I'll kill you. You didn't know? How's that possible? It's hard to explain till you've been there. Besides, you didn't know the other you. He wasn't exactly the kind of basher to share the chant with us. I mean, I knew he was looking for some place, but I didn't know why, where it was, or what it was, so I couldn't say anything to you because I didn't know anything. I just know what happened when we got there. Well, we went to this fortress, and before we even land foot in this place, we're all split up fighting for our lives. So the first thing I want to tell you is that if you're determined to go through with this, there's a good chance that anybody who goes through that portal is going to end up somewhere far away from everybody else. Thing is, even split up, we may be your only hope. Because whatever's waiting for that fortress for you, it already defeated you once. To this day, I don't know how you managed to survive, but if you fall again, you're going to need someone there to pull you out of that fortress. This Fortress of Regrets. It stretches on for leagues, Chief. It's a fortress, but it feels more like a plane in itself. All stone, all darkness, and shadows everywhere. Shadows. We go there, and we better be prepared. So, what happened the first time? Chief, I don't know what happened to you, but I know what happened to me. I spent my time running from vault to vault, those shadows crawling all over me, trying to bring me down. Then I just suddenly, we were out, like somebody had pulled us back. So, who else? Know that I have walked your path many times. A portion of your path is known to me. 5 walked the path to the fortress. Each died their own death. So how'd they die? I died the death of faith. The skull died the death of courage. The woman died the death of grief. The blind archer died the final and most merciful death, the death of the body. You died the death of memory. The skull was me. The woman was some chip named Dayanara. I never knew the archer. He was one who knew his targets without seeing them. Many shadows fell beneath the rain of his arrows. Yeah, Chief, at this fortress, there's shadows everywhere. There was darkness there, and every shadow was Shraklor. They are tormented creatures. The wounds in your spirit are known to them. They will attack you through them. They spoke to me like the Pillar of Skulls. They knew. I need to know everything. The shadows suffer. They know you have torment. They know how to torture you with that which wounded your heart. When we face them, know that you have faced that which killed you once. So what happened to the archer and Dayanara? The archer died the death of the body. The woman died the death of the spirit. I could not save the woman because it was not your will that she be saved. Her grave was dry of tears. No one knew to mourn her passing. Why didn't I want her saved? Your will was known only to you. Okay. I can't tell you any more, Chief, except that we're bound to be divided as soon as we arrive. It's a huge place, and it's crawling with shadows, and somewhere in that fortress is someone more powerful than any of us. Nothing lives there. The walls are darkness. Anything else you feel like? Well, yeah, there's one thing you should know. The you I knew before, the you that led us here, he wasn't like you at all. All I'm saying is that despite all your asinine behavior, you got more spirit than he ever did. The other you, he was detached from everything, so I just want you to keep that in mind. And that's not all you want to say, is it? No, there's another thing. I might not have liked the other you very much, but he was one smart basher, the smartest basher I ever known. He always had every angle covered. If he died in that fortress, that means, well, you don't think I can succeed, do you? No, it's not that cheap because it's not always who's smartest or who's the most powerful or who's the toughest. Sometimes it comes down to who you are and what you really want. I mean, once you wanted to become immortal, but in the end, is that really what you wanted? Just be sure that of what you want this time is all I'm saying. Alright, I'm gonna tell him that he doesn't have to come with me. Yeah, no, Chief, and I can't lie to you. I don't want to go, but I will. Just know that once we step through that portal, it isn't going to be just about you anymore. This is our lives we're playing with, and we don't want to get back up when we die. Oh, we don't get back up. It's because of what Ravel said in the maze, isn't it, Morty? What Ravel said in the maze, she said you draw people who suffer to you like a lodestone. Maybe it's because you've been suffering all this time. Maybe you end up settling things. Maybe we'll know a bit of peace too. Maybe. Are you with me, Morty? Why not, Chief? I mean, I've gone to every other horrible plane in the multiverse I can think of. Why not take the extra step off the cliff? You ready? Because if you're not... There's nothing more to do to prepare myself, I think. Well, Sure, let's go. I mean, any place else has got to be better than rattling our bone box in the mortuary, right? So I like that there's a little bit of extra...
Anymore, so I had to drop it.
Fuck, what did I drop? Oh, we're gonna get split up. I'm an idiot. I didn't check people's inventories and make sure that I actually got everything set up. So we're here in the Fortress of Regrets. I regret everything. Okay, let's hope that I have. So I dropped something. I don't know where I dropped it. I need to quick save because something in my inventory just got dropped. What? Didn't I just... Wasn't this after? Okay, so it looks like when you get near the portal, it automatically triggers that. It was the Tattoo of Spirits. Okay, so the tattoo, that's the tattoo that I just made. Which is not a big deal. So I dropped a Tattoo of Spirit, which isn't really... Okay. No, I dropped more than that. I dropped other shit as well. Okay, so... I'm gonna put this over here. No, we're not gonna put... We need the Skin of Regrets. So... Morty can carry my key. We're gonna take this bronze sphere because I just saw it was in my inventory. That was what made me drop shit, was this thing. And, you know, I should have gotten more party members just so that I could do stuff. Death Bolt, we'll go ahead and give that to him. What was I doing? Okay, so what else do I want in my inventory? I need to make sure... Okay, good. I have the wedding ring. I'm actually going to put the wedding ring on, I think. Am I going to? No. So I have two... Oh, so to give an idea of the kinds of things that I picked up while I was puttering around for a few hours, I got two Ages of Torments. So I found one... I got one to him. So he actually now has 25 Constitution with his current gear setup. I could give him other tattoos that are better for him, but I'm wearing them right now, pretty much. Let's see. I got the Tattoo of the Redeemer, which gives +1 luck. And if I had more wisdom, I would be wearing the Tattoo of the Skull, which would be effective. And I'll do that if I get another increase there, and a bunch of other stuff. So, okay, I have the negative token in my inventory, which is good. Okay, let's see. Let's drop this reminder note. Somebody else's inventory. Do I need anything else? Negative token, bronze sphere. I have some idea of what awaits me here, but pretty much none. I'm just gonna take this cheese and put it here. Okay, pop in here. Okay, so did I get any other items here? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so it's just me for now. And I'm heading west. And based off the fact that the door opened, that must be the right direction. Oh, wait.
Great power is here.
What?
I have need of you. There are creatures that must die.
So that's interesting.
Done.
So there's a greater shadow here. So this is going to be
Die.
easy enough.
Die. Die.
Those had Wolverine claws. Yeah, these are weaker than the normal creatures that I was fighting before, so... Under Sigil is definitely the sort of like end game content, I think. This place will not be any trouble.
I feel stronger. Die.
Anything interesting up here? Not that I can see. So we can go ahead and level up. And... Oh, that's interesting. I already put 1 point here. Oh, the reason that I couldn't do it was because I didn't have enough strength. There we go. So, it wasn't the lack of wisdom, it was the lack of strength. So this Tattoo of the Warrior I needed because of the +1 strength. We're going to put the Tattoo of the Skull on now. This gives us +1 to luck. So we now have 25 strength and wisdom, as well as getting a nice +2 to our luck, which just increases all of our rolls, I believe. It doesn't do as much as we'd like it to, but it's still good. This ancient machine looks like it's forgotten war relic. Most of the machine is covered in dust except for the strange panel with levers in the front of it. Oddly enough, the ground around the panel is disturbed as if someone walked here recently. Perhaps in the last few years. The panel has a series of gears and levers. Beneath each is a series of scratch marks that look like they were hastily carved there with a dagger. Some bear no marks, others bear a single slash beneath them, and one has an X. Without knowing why, you know the X lever will somehow help you leave. I don't want to leave. I thought you couldn't leave the... You know what? Let's pull the lever and see what happens. I'm gonna save this. Okay, I'm not gonna save this because that guy won't disappear off my screen.
Updated my journal.
It gives way easily into your touch, and to your surprise disintegrates into the mist, then spreads into your hands, which also begins to fade in your arm and you...
So cold here.
fiend linger.
Where's the one who brought you here? In a place you'll never find him. If you think of take... Did that kill me? In a place you'll never find him. If you think to be taking him, you'll be needed to get through me first. Your words have passion, strength, and precious little reason. It gives me the strength to gut you, I don't care. Curious. Your reason for following him here is becoming clear. Enough of your chatter, and if it's fight you want, then could it be that you somehow perceive yourself as special in his eyes? If you're gonna try and get past me, then you go on and do it. Fiendling, I have watched the one that you follow across many lifetimes. I know his heart, and I know there have been countless others who felt passion for him. Of them all, you are certainly the least. You are a thing, bastardized by your parents in the plains. Shut your bone box, you hear me? Answer me this, and you will know silence, child. Does the one who you follow matter to you?
He matters more to me than my life.
Then die.
Okay, so I think we actually lost there. So apparently there's traps around this place that will, like, outright kill you. Or more specifically, kill your companions. I'm going to reload, because I don't want to kill off my companions like that. I was literally just clicking on that, not to try and get out of here, but because I wanted to, wanted to see what it did. It just killed me. So...
Die.
Oh wow, I just one-shot that guy. Alright, so... Oh shit, I'm held. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. So moving right along. So is everything we touch gonna kill us?
Done.
So all of these machines presumably just murder us. This huge clock looks like it's partially melted in the black stone surrounding it. As you can see, look at the clock face, you suddenly feel a strange crawling sensation worming your way through the back of your skull. You've seen a clock like this before, but not this one. There's something important about it, but you don't know what. So the other thing is that can I leave this?
This is it.
No, I don't know what enemy sighted. So these clocks are the thing that I'm looking for. I'm looking for one of these clocks. Each clock looks like it's partially melted. There's something crudely scratched into the clock face and suddenly you feel a strange warming sensation. Worming its way through the back of the skull. But you know that what's written on this clock is a message from you.
Updated my journal.
The message carved in the clock face looks like it was carved with a dagger. Run. Doors are lies. Use cannons, then portal. Looks like the message was written in some haste. Following the message is a crude arrow pointing to the opposite direction as the long hand of the clock. Cannon. So, the panel has a series of... Okay, so one of these is the correct one. I was thinking that was just a trap. It's not. It's that one of these is the correct one and one is not, and the rest are not. So I mean, the long hand on the clock is pointing this way, so this should be the correct one, unless that guy was lying to me. So I'm gonna try and pull this lever and see what happens.
Dated my journal.
Gives Weasley. And
It is difficult to separate shadow from the darkness here.
oh god. So we just
Not a place meant for the living.
we just got killed again.
Ah, the Tanari.
So you're the spider that lies at the center of it all. This is kind of cool that we get to see all of these, though. I have many questions that you could answer. Your goals in this matter have not been entirely clear. My goals are not for you to know, fallen Tanari. My indulgence is all that keeps your black heart beating in your chest. You may leave with your life now, if you will. She paces around a lot. My heart is neither black, nor do I fear for my life. My companions, my friends, are here in their fortress. I shall not leave until we are rejoined and the man who we follow has resolved this matter to a satisfactory conclusion. There is no satisfactory conclusion to this fool's errand. You will leave this place, and you shall leave your undying companion here. Fear not for his life. The only price he shall pay is the loss of memory. As gracious as your offer is, I must refuse your offer to abandon my friends. As for the small price he will pay at your hands, it's the equivalent of death to him. I have traveled with this man for some time, and there are many things I do not wish him to forget. He will forget. It is his fate to remain ignorant. He will forget you, Tanari, just as he forgotten all who have walked the path of misery with him. He exists to die, forget, and die again. He is nothing. That is your judgment. The fact remains that I do not wish him to forget me, nor all that we have struggled to reach this place. He has suffered much, and I find my sympathies lie with him rather than the arrogant creature that postures before me and fights as a coward fights, preferring to kill from a distance where his opponent cannot reach him. You shall torment him no more. Tanari, perhaps you doubt my powers here in this place. A demonstration may silence your doubt.
Prepare yourself.
You are... I can forge planes with my power. I can unmake you.
So here's the other question. I'm in a new place. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm in the same place. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and reload. I was thinking that maybe
All right.
then again, I don't actually know. Maybe this is how you're supposed to do it. I guess I'm gonna explore this place before I do these.
I feel stronger.
That was a different character that went down there. So it's entirely possible that is in fact what I'm supposed to be doing. I have my doubts. I don't think so. What is this? Unlike the other clock with the message, this clock bears no fate message or marks. Apparently approves. Okay, so
Damn. Die.
Yeah, I think that that is actually what I'm supposed to do. I was thinking that I'm supposed to, like, track down my friends, but it might not be me that tracks down my friends. It might be a whole different entity.
This is it.
The reason that I thought that that was, like, an on-death trigger was because the the bad guy said, "Where is the man you followed here? Where have you hidden him?" I think it said something along those lines, which to me indicates like that they had stashed my body somewhere. So, okay, we're gonna trigger this, I guess, and I guess we're gonna save this. New save. Wish me luck. Well, I guess I should be wishing them luck.
Dated my journal.
So I don't know what's gonna happen here, but we'll find out.
It is difficult to separate shadow from the darkness here. This is not a place meant for the living.
Ah, the Tanari.
You have done enough harm. Prepare yourself.
You are. I can forge planes with my power. I can unmake you.
It's interesting because I had actually, I don't know if you guys can even hear me over this. This is a very loud cutscene, but I had considered not bringing my allies with me and just going in alone, because you know I fear for their safety. So I'm gonna check my journal. I should have done this the first time. Okay, so it looks like yes, that is in fact something that I'm supposed to do. That wasn't me dying. Okay, and I don't think that I've... Are there any other... Okay, I guess I'll just do this one next. That way we can finish these two together. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that we're having to do this multiple times. It really felt to me like, oh, clearly if he's looking for me, you know, I wonder what happens if you're a dick to your allies.
He matters more to me than my life.
Then die.
You know, I wonder if your allies will turn against you. Like if you treat them like crap. Let's take a look here. That's...
Ah, the Githzerai. I remember him well. Submit.
I may be bested in battle, but I shall never be defeated.
You cannot hope to defeat me.
I have been here before. This time I shall never leave.
So be it.
Oh my god, what a thing to say. I've been here before, this time I'll never leave. Alright, we're going to level up, and I need to pump that point of strength, and we can... the tattoo of the skull.
Updated my journal.
So nothing happens this time. In the distance, you hear a roaring sound as if something just opened. Howling wind is rushing through the vaults. As you try to figure out where the sound is coming from, you suddenly realize you're disintegrating and becoming part of the wind. Okay. So...
I feel stronger.
wow, I leveled up twice? Hello, friend. I'm actually gonna do one thing quick. I'm gonna reload just because I want to check one thing. So I'm gonna reload to wish me luck.
I feel stronger.
I want to see if we can trigger Morty by going into this one first, just so that we can see, just so we can see him die. It sounds worse than I mean it to sound.
Updated my journal.
So, who is it? Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so I didn't die there. That is definitely me dying, because that time I didn't die. Okay, so we're gonna... Okay. Yeah, those are I think, death things. They're not... They're not something that I'm meant to do. I don't know why it is that I... opposite direction. So is there a specific order that I'm supposed to push these? Because that one did not... That one didn't kill me, but it also didn't trigger the thing, so it's not like I have to do a specific one. Let's see if there's... Because I'm in the same area. I didn't, like, move to a different area. The long hand of this clock is pointing... in a very different direction than the one that... I feel like maybe the clocks are supposed to be a key, but... I legit don't see any indication of how this puzzle works. Okay, well... I'm gonna try this one. Maybe... I mean, it's possible that that one, for whatever reason, just doesn't... Where's the... I can't backtrack that far.
Gone.
So there's a clock there pointing to that one. There's a clock pointing to the other one. All of the clocks seem to be pointing... I'm going to take a look and see whether these have marks indicating their numbers on them. Because I actually didn't really read this that closely. No, there's no indication of... Yeah. I think that it just triggers these every single time. Except for maybe Morty doesn't get trapped. There might be something specific about Morty that prevents him from having this happen. So, because each of these seems to be tied to a specific party slot. So we're just going to skip this, and then once we do that, we're going to just load it up. I make the assumption here that this is how it's supposed to go and that I'm not missing anything. Alright, so we're going to load our quick save. We'll load our autosave.
I'm gone.
So this huge crystal radiates pulsing spectral light hovers from the crater in the middle of the room. The rhythm of the pulse reminds you of a heartbeat, but slow and sickly. Light from the crystal touches the edges of the room like fingers, each ray of light casting a glow on the ruined face of the statues around it. I guess he wants to fight.
Damn.
Okay. So there's a lot of different versions of me. There's a moment of dizziness as you touch the crystal, then a slow chill passes through your body and you discover that your muscles have locked, your hand frozen to the crystal's surface. Hi, friends. He has awakened. Finally, I thought I would die waiting for him to rise. Perhaps you will still die. Never forget I watch you thieves, you killers. Killers, all three of you. Have a care how you speak to me, you deranged wreck. He was fortunate to reach here with all the traps you scattered through the plains. I swear, if I could have crossed the years to put out your misery, The two of you be silent. Let's make sure he's all right and save the arguments for later. Who are you all? By the hells, he's lost his memories. Damnation, he's useless to us now. Calm yourself, he's ordinarily disoriented, as were we all. Give him a moment to get his bearings. You are all thieves wearing my body, and you will give it back. I'm at the limits of my patience with your howling. Be silent, or this arguing avails us nothing. Give him his space, leave him be. How on earth did these people survive this long? Time's no longer in our favor. I will not stand here and squander another moment while our adversary is no doubt hunting for us. We wait long enough for him to awaken. I'll speak to him now. The man before you resembles you, but he carries himself more like a force than a man. His eyes are watching you carefully, and as you study him, you feel him studying you. So, it has come to this. I will not surrender my name to you or any man. The man's voice is rough like yours, and it rings strangely in your ears. As for who I am, you should know that by asking yourself that. You are one of my incarnations. You made it here, and my clues to guide you. So, we're separate incarnations? How is that possible? If there's anything I hated about you, it's your countless questions, your desperate fumbling for meaning and answers. The man's voice is like a hatchet, and anger flickers across his features. The time for questions is past. Now you will listen to me. I was the first to breach this fortress, and whatever it was that awaits us here was somehow able to defeat me. It will not best me a second time. So you sound like you're ready to fight. Of course, that's the only reason we're speaking now. I'll need you to be my shell, but your mind must be my mind. Do you understand me?
My journal.
So he means to possess me. Yes. We cannot leave this place in pieces. Only one may leave. And how are we to become one? You must surrender your will to me. Your knowledge and skills, whatever you've managed to accumulate in your life, may prove useful. It will ultimately be but a fraction of my power, but it might still have its uses. I have questions for you. I will indulge you, but only for a while longer. So you're the one who saved Jacona Sharklar and the one who led Dayanara to his death. All of it? What of it? All of it was done on a purpose. So you gave him the Unbroken Circle. So you saved him because of his blade. Why? Your ignorance astounds me. Can it be that you don't know what he carries in his hand? That blade he carries is shaped by his thoughts. Such a tool, when used properly, could slay the multiverse itself. Though obviously the gift became separated when we arrived in the fortress and I was unable to make use of his blade. Unfortunate. No, he didn't build the tomb. That was the paranoid incarnation. So tell me about Zachariah, I guess. The archer? Well, Sod and Zachariah could see things with his eyes, so I couldn't, so he could hit them with his arrows too. Well, I was walking into this fortress blind in some ways. I didn't know what my killer was, so I needed someone who could see things I couldn't in case the enemy was beyond my visual range. Zachariah ended up dying too fast, though, and he wasn't any use in the end. So why did Dayanara have to... Dayanara, the girl, had little sense for the planes in her, and that was what I needed her for. You see, dustmen have it right. Sometimes when you feel too much passion, you cling too tightly to life to let go, and neither did Dayanara, as I hoped she would. That woman, that ghost... She tormented me for years, pursuing me, hating me, and you were the one that killed her? You blaming me for anything is laughable. It wasn't out of malice, though she did become tiresome. It's just that when I arrived in the fortress, I didn't intend to stay. I just wanted to get in, sacrifice her, then get out. What? So why? I needed someone to be my eyes here on the negative material plane to serve as a scout and try to find out who my killer was. Only the dead can survive here for long, so Dayanara had to be sacrificed so that she could become something other than what she was. A tricky business, but it worked. She helped you, didn't she? Didn't have to kill her. Jesus. And that is why you will be defeated if you confront our killer. It is because you are weak and you do not do some things that are necessary. This is extremely antagonistic. Oh my god. This, by the way, is totally this response that Artole would go with. But no. I'm tempted because I like the idea of you dare call me weak when you did this whole big shebang and then got wrecked anyway. I like that idea, but the tone of it is completely wrong. The tone of it is totally wrong for Comoniton. He wouldn't be emotional. He's never emotional. Anymore. Let's see. I think at this point in the plot, I think that he's probably regained enough of his senses that he would be definitely not an emotional sort. Let's see. You dare lecture me? Women have always walked our path with us, whether Dayanara or Ravel or any other woman, and they suffered, and it was always their choice. Dayanara would have died for me if I'd asked her to. There is no crime. Okay. Holy crap. So, were you the one who asked Farad to get the bronze sphere from the catacombs? Farad? Oh yes, the trash king with all the tough bloods that thought I was easy prey. After a little bloodletting, I struck a bargain with him. He would see to that his men found me, they would take me safely to the mortuary, and of course I needed the eyes and hands for his men to scour the catacombs. So, for the bronze sphere. Yes, I told Farad that it was the only thing that would save his miserable life. What a sniveling little dodger he was. You see, the old bastard was destined to end up on the Pillar of Skulls when he died, and he was desperately trying to weasel out of it. So I told him that there was an item beneath the sigil that would save him from his fate, if he could only find it. But would it save him? It was only something he wanted him to find. Of course it was useless to him. One cannot dodge fate so easily. However, nothing motivates a man faster than telling him that what he seeks will save his soul from eternal damnation. I intended to take it from him after he found it. It's just searching for it myself would have taken too long. And why should I do it when I could have someone else hunt for me? Actually, he ended up tricking me into finding it for him. Why was it so important? Important? Do you not know? Do you have it with you? You have it? Then your life is some use after all. When we merge, I will see about finding a means to unlock it. Perhaps all is not lost. So, why is this sphere important? It is a dead sensory stone. Do you know what it contains? It holds the last experience of the first of us, when we were one man and not a string of incarnations. If there is some way of unlocking it, I will be able to see inside his mind. Yes. Is the answer I've always sought. Why this happened, why we became immortal. When we merge, I will see about finding a means to unlock it. Perhaps all is not lost. Perhaps there are no answers in such a thing. Perhaps there never was. I don't deal in the realms of perhaps and maybe. I seek answers. It is what has allowed us to get this far. If we had left life in your hands, we wouldn't have even a fraction of the truth we now possess, and in that truth lies power. You will realize that when we merge. Alright, let's see. I'm going to see if he has anything else, because I didn't realize that there was... So, I will not merge with you, you will merge with me. I don't think... He's not the one who did this. We already talked about Dacon, Zachariah, and Deonara. I'm gonna go with this one. I surrender to no man. It is you who will be absorbed by me. I doubt it. Do you intend to fight me on this? You are no match for me. There's little point in resisting. So be it. We shall find out what your mind has in store. Okay, lock gazes with him and try to force him to merge with you. As you swim in the corridor with his mind, the first emotion you counter is surprise, and his eyes widen. He's not absorbing you. Your will is stronger, and it is consuming him. You feel him desperately trying to pull back, but he cannot. He is too weak, and your will blocks his retreat while drawing him deeper into your subconscious. This is the last time we shall ever speak. Return to death where you belong. He looks incredulous for a moment, then disintegrates, and you feel a rush of knowledge pouring into you, fighting to surface. It's almost too much to absorb at once, and you find yourself disoriented. So much knowledge, so many experiences that... And as quickly as it occurred, the rush subsides, and you steady yourself. The bits of knowledge swirl in your head, and you can make sense of them later. For now, only one piece of knowledge is important, that the Incarnation did not know how to leave this place. He lied to trick you into surrendering.
I feel stronger.
Well, damn it. Alright, well, we level up. We now have 25 wisdom naturally, which is good. Let's Let's see. We can now pump another stat. Unfortunately, it looks like pumping our decks is not giving us too big of a bonus here. But that's fine. We can just keep doing it anyway.
I'm gone.
And I'm going to talk to the paranoid incarnation, I guess. The man before you resembles you, but his back is hunched as if he's perpetually afraid of being struck. He's watching you warily and he hisses as you approach, his hands clenching as if he wants to strangle you. His arms are horribly gnarled and scarred as if they've been dunked into a stream of acid, and his left arm looks like it's holding on by a thread, literally. Know that you are not, that you will not last long in this place, thief. Mazes and regrets and death are all that are here. You are a thief. I will feel the bones of your neck snap beneath my fingers, take my body back, and you wear my body like a cloak and you shame me. I stole nothing from you. You stole everything. I awoke in the streets of the Ring City and all who saw me knew me. All that you had done, all that you had harmed. They were all waiting for me, blaming me, hurting me until I couldn't take the voices anymore, and had to make them silent. So you're the one who killed Linguist Finn, then wrote the dodecahedron. He affixes you with a wary eye. Seems like just looking at you is making him uncomfortable. I burned the false papers, yes. More lies. Lies about my false lives. Let's see. So apparently the other guy did make the tomb. That's weird. It seems like such a paranoid, bizarre thing to do. Okay, let's speak in private, just the two of us. As you speak the language of the Uyo, the Incarnation's eyes widen. As he stares at you for a moment, in a moment of silence, he replies the same language. Only I know the language of the Uyo. How do you know it? You are correct. You are the only one who knows the language of the Uyo, so if you know the language of the Uyo, I must be you. It is these others who are not you, for they do not know the language of the Uyo. I hear you. This place confuses one's perception. We are both you, and now we must become as one. I no longer wish to live like this. You've suffered much. You were born into a world where nothing made sense, where strangers claimed they knew you, they blamed you for things you knew nothing of, and they tried to hurt you. Yes. I will protect you now. You will know peace, for that is all you ever wanted, isn't it? The Incarnation relaxes at your words, his eyes dimming as he locks gazes with you. There's the faintest of whispers, and he falls back to the stones. With a collapse, you feel a crawling sensation in the back of your skull. There's a flood of memories and strength and emotions as you steady yourself, dizzy for a moment when your vision clears and you are yourself once more. I'm wondering whether I'm going to go ahead and make another quick save here, but I'm going to load because I didn't realize that this was going to prevent me from continuing. I wanted to basically get his confidence before I questioned him. I didn't realize that it would lead directly into that. So we're going to ask about this. And yes, simple trap for someone who can't die. A mind trap. And let's see. What do you know of the other incarnation? Okay. This guy does not seem to have any information that's useful. Kept coming off, so I had to stitch it up again. Okay, let's. Okay, so I just wanted to confirm that he didn't have any other information that I would need. Let's see. The man gives you before you resembles you, but his face seems calmer somehow. He gives you a slight smile as you approach, and as he nods, as if in approval. Are you all right? Who are you? Have we ever had a name, or is it just the first of us? Know that I am your ally in this. I, like the others, have died by death in your mind, and this is a figment of all that remains. But who are you? Ah, this must be disorienting for you. Let me try to explain. I am one of your incarnations. I was once lost. Now I'm here again. How is that possible? I do not know. Whatever you touched within the fortress has brought pieces of yourself to the surface. One of the others may know the means of how this came to be, but this is beyond me. Okay, there are things I should know. Why are there only 3 incarnations here? I do not know. Perhaps we were the 3 pieces that were somehow still present in your mind. Present how? I do not know for sure, but I would guess that when we die, traces of the former personality may remain in your mind, and I know that sometimes we make ourselves felt. How? When you're about to place yourself in danger, we're close to realization. For example, I found that I could stir, help prod you in the right direction. So you were the crawling sensation? I would be a little lost to describe how it felt to you, but it is possible, yes. Interesting. So before you said that when we die, traces are left in the mind, that's what causes us to emerge. My understanding may not be complete, but yes, that seems to be the case. We make ourselves known, felt in small ways. So it's possible that the first of us, the real one of us, before all the incarnations, might still be buried in my mind. The expression on the incarnation's face flickers for just a moment, but it is like a window and you suddenly realize who it is you're speaking to. You were the first of us. The incarnation's eyes take on a haunted look, and his gaze turns away from yours. I know what you're thinking, but it's not the case. You think that knowing the mind of the first of us will somehow help you here, in this place, but it will not. But why? I have so many questions you could answer. Why become immortal? Because if we die, truly die, Death's kingdom will not be paradise, not for us. If you spoke to the others that were here, know that a fraction of the evil of their lives is but a drop of water compared to the evil of mine. That life, that one life, even without the thousands of others, has given a seat in the lower planes for eternity. So you seem much calmer, though. I became that way, yes. Because of me, it is regret that may change the nature of a man. But it was too late. I was already damned. I found that changing my nature was not enough. I needed more time, I needed more life. So I came to the greatest of the Grey Sisters and asked for a boon, to try and help me live long enough to rectify all the damage I had done, to make me immortal. And she did, but then she tested your immortality and killed you, and you forgot everything. And the planes have been dying ever since. The crime is great and the blame is mine. When I became no more, when I merged with you, you will have the answers you seek. It may take some time to sort them out, but they are there. It is difficult to communicate a life with words. One last thing, just this. Before I return to Oblivion, there's something I would know. So what do you want to know? Did you live your life? The brief life that you had, in the end, was it worth it? I'm gonna go with this one.
I feel stronger.
He nods, and for a moment you think he's going to say something, and then he collapses, the life running out of him and into yours. As he falls to the black stones, you feel a crawling sensation in the back of your skull, making you shiver, and you know the incarnation is no more.
Stronger.
And we have leveled up again? Yay! Harbor Class 4. Hello, Dayanara. Before you is the ghostly form of Dayanara. Her spectral gown seems stirred by some ethereal breeze. Her eyes rest on yours, and you feel a strange, disjointed sensation as if you're looking at several pairs of eyes at once. My love, at last I have found you. I searched for you as if after you were divided by the crystal, and this fortress spans hundreds of miles, and I feared you were lost to me. Are you well? I think so. The crystal divided me, but I'm one again. Now I am trapped here, however. I suspect trapping you here was the crystal's true purpose, but it poses no barrier for one such as I. Much do my eyes see, and the halls of the fortress are well known to me. If you are trapped here, my love, I shall see to it that you are set free. Where is it you wish to go? I wish to rejoin my friends. As you wish, my love. Touch my hand, and the walls of this fortress shall be walls no more.
I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
I'm gone.
So they're all dead. But they're also all together for some reason. So is there any way for me to revive them? Because they're not in my party right now. That doesn't help me at all. So maybe there is something to that, but that doesn't make sense because the skull is dead. And there was no cutscene for him.
So you have come.
Oh, whoops.
You shall die again.
I actually forgot to do something. Oh, good. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use the bronze sphere. As you hold the sphere from up this time and examine it, you feel the memories of the first of your incarnations stirring with you. But it is not an insistent or driving force. It is calm like the thoughts of a man walking across a great distance to speak to a friend he hasn't seen in ages. As you feel his presence in your mind, you see the sphere is in a different light. Not as ugly or hideous, but as something precious, like a newborn child. The sphere is a repository of your last moments before you met Ravel in the Grey Waste and asked the impossible of her. You know why you asked her, and you know all that you need to know is touch the surface of the sphere with both hands and feel regret, and the stone will open itself to you. The sphere wrinkles in your hands, the skin of the sphere peeling away into tears and turning into a rain of bronze that encircles you. Each droplet, each fragment that enters you, you feel a new memory stirring. A lost love, a forgotten pain, an ache of loss, and with it comes the great pressure of regret. Regret for careless actions, the regret of suffering, regret of war, regret of death, and you feel your mind begin buckling from the pressure. So much, all at once, so much damage done to others, so much so that an entire fortress may be built on such pain. And suddenly, through the torrent of regrets, you feel the first incarnation again. His hand, invisible and weightless, is upon your shoulder, steadying you. He doesn't speak, but with his touch, you suddenly remember your name. And it's such a simple thing. Not at all what you thought it might be, and you feel yourself suddenly comforted. In knowing your name, your true name, you know that you have gained back perhaps the most important part of yourself. In knowing your name, you know yourself. And you know now there is very little you cannot do. The first incarnation's hand is gone from your shoulder, and he's watching you with a slight smile. That was my name all along, but if I was... The first incarnation holds his finger to his lips, silencing you. He nods at the symbol of your arm as if indicating that you should make use of it. The symbol of Torment, seems brittle somehow, as if only barely holding itself to your skin. Unconsciously, you reach out and peel it from your arm. It gives way with slight resistance, like pulling off a scab. As you hold the symbol, you know that you can harness its power. It no longer rules you. As you get halfway through the question, you realize there's a heavy silence in your mind. You can no longer feel the presence of the first incarnation within you.
I feel stronger.
The named one. I just got an achievement. This strip of flesh holds the symbol of torment that you have always worn. It peeled away from your arm when you realized your true name. The symbol no longer rules you, and you may harness its power to bring retribution against your enemies. Merely holding it and invoking its power will summon all the pain and suffering from your past incarnation upon your foes. Okay. So how many levels did I just gain? Oh my god, I just gained 11 levels? What the hell? So, getting up to 25 dex does not actually do anything. 24 dex is sufficient. Getting up to 22 constitution means that I only need 1 AGs of torment, but that doesn't really help me much. Let's see. If I had another thing that... You know what, let's just boost my int to 25. And let's boost... There's no reason to boost Constitution more because there's no reason for me to unequip the Ages of Torment. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. By doing that, I don't have any reason to wear this thing here. I guess it gives 3 AC, but with 600 HP, there's really no need for that. So, I thought that there was a ability that I could gain that would allow me to revive my party members, but I don't see it. So, I must have missed something in conversing with somebody.
So you have come. You are unwelcome here, Broken One.
What have you done to my friends? Okay, so maybe this is how I do it.
Are they dead? Yes. Unlike you, they have but one life. And they wasted it for your sake.
They died for you, as they always have. Such is the way of all mortal things. It is the fate of all that follow you, Broken One. You have forgotten much. They tried to harm me, here of all places. I defended myself. In doing so, mortality claimed them. Their deaths were by their own hand. I gave them the opportunity to depart this place, but they seemed determined to help you despite the cost of themselves. So you killed them. The Tiefling girl was especially fierce in your defense. Her feelings for you burned brighter than Elysium's fires. And the Tanari, she was quite strong. Her tolerance for pain should have shamed the Batezu themselves. I took no pleasure in their deaths. Then why do it? It was not my will. It is not I that brought them here. All of them had a choice, and they chose to die for you. It has always been the way of all that follow you, for they are tormented souls seeking a release, but they know not why. You have forgotten this, and you shall again. I know you for what you are. You are my mortality. Your armor is twisted like tree branches. Such things speak of Ravel's magics. Yes, I am that which was split from you by the hag's power. I am that which walks with you with all life. My voice is a death rattle, a last breath in the throat, the whisper of a dying man. I've been freed from the person of your flesh. The moment I was split from your cancerous shell, I knew life. I knew freedom. I shall not surrender it to you. So we weren't meant to be separated. The planes have suffered because of our separation. You know nothing of meaning in separation. Before your memory dies again, know that we were never meant to be as one. This shall be the last time you and I speak, Broken One. I will indulge you in this one last time, then this fortress shall be silent again. I want their lives returned to them. No, they are dead. Dead they shall remain. Why, can't you save them? Don't you have the power? Do not question my power here in this place. There's nothing I cannot do now that I am free of you. But it is not my will that they be saved. They challenged me in my home, and their deaths shall be reminders to all that challenge me. I don't think you have a choice. I don't think you can resurrect them. Broken one, in the span of your forgotten lifetimes, I have observed, learned, and gathered power within the vaults of my body. When you fought in the Black Decade War, all your military knowledge was carved into my mind. When you danced sorceries with Lum the Mad. Oh my god, with Lum the Mad? I learned with you. All you have forgotten, I have not. The power over life and death is but a minor display of my power. Are you saying we share a link, you and I? It is a small thing of no consequence. Deonora told me that I could reverse death only when the victim had died close to me. But when she awakened me, are you saying that was only a fraction of my power over life and death? Your mind is a broken stone, its edges dull from the inside from misuse and neglect. Even if you knew power, it would not know how to harness it. So if you have the power, I have the power too, even if I wasn't there at the moment of death. You do not have the years needed to learn the arts of life and death. You will fall before me. You feel a stirring in your mind, and you suddenly realize you do possess the years needed to learn, for you knew it at once. Across multiple incarnations, but the process will take time, and you know the mortality will not allow you the time you need. You may have time to resurrect one companion, but no more than that. I'm gonna resurrect Dacone. As your power touches him, Dacone takes a staggered breath and looks up at you weakly. Looks like he's barely clinging to life. Once, Dacone, you made the pronouncement of 2 deaths as 1. It is that time. As you speak the word, Dacone's eyes close for a moment. You think he can't hold on to life anymore. Then they open, and the eyes are no longer the dead black you remember. Instead, they carry the metal texture of his blade, and you know that Dacone has become something else, something far more powerful. Oh shit. 3 dex, 3 con, 1 strength, permanent? This will not help you. You have raised your companion to die a second death.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
No, that is no longer possible. You led me to all that have guided you to this place. I will end their lives. You have allowed me to hide my presence forever. There is no one left in all of existence who can tell you how to reach me. This shall be the last time you trespass in these halls. The halls of this fortress shall be silent again. You will trouble me no more.
So we're gonna get multiple endings here. I'm gonna go ahead and beat him down. So we're gonna get this ending, and then I'm gonna reload. I guess Dacone should help. Nope. No, he shouldn't.
You know nothing of pain. I shall be your teacher.
I will hear. I shall serve.
That's a lot of damage. Whoops. Well, I don't have any castings left.
How is this possible?
So that is how it could have happened. I'm going to see if I can skip this, and yes, I can. I will be going through the credits, but I'm not going to be going through the credits until I am ready to end things. I'm also... Yeah, I'm just going to pop here. I didn't realize that it would trigger a fight to try and resurrect my ally, but I guess it makes sense.
You are unwelcome here, broken one.
So we'll try and find a separate solution to this. We've already used the thing, I think. We have, right?
Are they dead? Yes. Unlike you, they have but one life. And they wasted it for your sake.
Alright. Okay, so I think each of these questions that you have is leading to a different, not necessarily a different ending, but a different way of resolving things. Let's see. You've done everything to prevent a meeting face to face. Do you think I fear to face you, Broken One? I do not. So, is that why you sent shadows to kill me rather than trying to defeat me yourself? They've never succeeded in killing me, nor will they. I send shadows because their reach is long, yet it is my eyes that guide them. So the shadows can travel distances you cannot. There's nothing I cannot do. Yet you never traveled beyond this walls to fight me, I only sent shadows. That's how a coward fights. My energies are needed to sustain this place, Broken One, else it would be my hand on your throat with each of your deaths. I may not travel beyond these fortress walls for long. So the crystal was not trying to kill me, it was trying to imprison me. Yes, the crystal is a prison, perhaps one of the greatest ever devised. I used it for I tire of tracking you across the plains, Nameless One. You are difficult to find. I prefer you be kept close by, where I may watch you. The crystal is such a place you may be kept. So why am I difficult to find? It is of no consequence. Why not tell me then? I'll forget it anyway. Just as there is power in names, there is power in not having a name. The eyes of the plains slide off such a one such as you and one such as I. No. There are other things I would know. Okay, so I don't want to do that one. I'm going to try this question. What can... I'm gonna go with 2, I guess. It is of no matter. You cannot die. Your mind may be lost, but your flesh will live on. That's all is needed. Needed? Why? We share a link, you and I, however small. I do not wish it destroyed, only far from me. So if you don't want to kill me because if I die... You cannot die. Well, if I can't die, then you can't exist. You're my mortality. Perhaps once, no longer, I have changed. I have transcended to become something greater. Perhaps so, but at your core you're still my mortality. If I die, you die. You know nothing of what you speak. Your words are hollow, as is your shell. You can't know exactly what I'm saying. If I were to be destroyed, you would be destroyed. You listen, but you do not hear. Know that you cannot die. If we are linked as you say, then speak our name. A name is a thing earned by a man through his actions, and by nature of that, the name we once had is meaningless. You don't know what our name is, do you? There is no one in all existence that knows our name. This is our shield. Names carry power. When one is nameless as we are, then one is strong. We cannot be hunted, we cannot be tracked, we cannot be harmed. Our name is known to me, creature, and knowing I have become strong. You lie! Our name is lost, forgotten, and so it shall remain until eternity dies. Do I lie? If you are of me, then you know when I deceive you. I do not lie now. Even with such knowing, you do not have the power to defeat me. Yes, I do, and I shall not allow you to trick me into a battle that's not even necessary, for in knowing my name, my true name, I know yours. There is nothing more you can do to me. I will unmake you. No, you will not. You will rejoin me, and we shall become as one as we were meant. You know not what you do. If we are reunited, then it shall be an ending. There shall be no future for us. We shall go on to further torments. So it's better that happen than the multiverse continues to suffer because of us. If we become one, we shall suffer. There's too much of the nature of the first one in us for us to be saved. We shall be damned, and you know not what you do. I think this... Know that I've always hated you, broken one. When we are one, I will continue to hate you. When your shell dies at last, know that I shall take pleasure in your death. Know that my hatred for you will unmake the planes. Prepare yourself. We shall be as one again until your last moments of life. Is it possible to save my friends? I am mortality itself. The nature of life and death is something I know. Well, when we are one, my knowing shall be yours. As you reach out to your power, Morty suddenly floats into the air. Hold up, Chief. You don't need to resurrect me. I was just kind of lying there, listening to you two. You were feigning death. Well, yeah, I'm already dead, and Chief, what happened to your voice? I'm something else now. Time runs short, and soon time will fate will catch up with me. I will return you to Sigil, Morty, if you wish it. What? Return me? What about you? Come on, Chief. I may be a coward, but there's no way I'm leaving you in this place. Many are the crimes that were committed when my mortality and I were split. These crimes carry a price. You may not go where I soon will be. Well, I could go with you anyway, Chief. If you wanted me, I mean, we've been through all this. Not this time. Perhaps one day you and I will meet again on another plane, but not now.
It's been a pleasure, Chief.
Farewell, Morty. As you reach out with your power, there's a rush of air, and Anna stirs. She raises her head slowly and shakes it confused. Are you alright? What happened to you? Your voice is like echoes it is. I have changed. I am something else now, and I cannot remain here much longer. I will return you to Sigil if you wish it. What? Where are you going? Many are the crimes that were committed when my mortality and I were split. These crimes carry a price. There is a place reserved for one such as I on the lower planes. It is punishment of a sort. But I don't want you to go. I will not forget how much you were willing to sacrifice for me, Anna. Anna nods. She looks like she was about to say something else, but then falls silent. The unspoken thought remains in her head, lingering. I do not need your words to know your heart, Anna. Farewell. I thought I would be teleporting these people away, but they're all right here still. As your power touches him, Dakone takes a staggered breath and looks up weakly. It looks like he's barely clinging to life. Awakened Dakone of Shrocktlore, last wielder of the Karak Blade. Your voice. Have you at last come to know yourself? Yes, it was a difficult thing, and it cost many lifetimes, many sufferings that I might know myself again. The knowing of oneself is a difficult path. In knowing it, I know where I shall soon be bound. Time and fate come here even as we speak, and I will not be here much longer. I will return you to Sigil, Dacone, if you wish. Dacone falls silent for a moment. When he speaks again, his voice is sharp, as if severing a link. Know that once I owed you a debt. Know that you saved my life, and know that I followed you to settle that debt.
I have paid for your life with mine. The debt is settled.
Very well, Dacone. Our 2 deaths were as one. You will leave this place with your freedom. As your power touches Fall from Grace, she rises dizzily to her feet, even disoriented. She somehow manages to maintain her composure. Fall from Grace. Fall from Grace looks up and she holds her eyes for a moment, then she smiles, but it's a slight smile that carries more sadness than anything else. Your voice, so you found yourself at last? Yes, the price was high. The cost was many lifetimes, mine and others. The price of such a thing is seldom measured in copper. Are you still? I am still the one you know, but my perspective has changed. I have not forgotten you, if that is your fear. Fall from Grace smiles again, the same sad smile as before. No, that was not my fear. I cannot remain here for much longer. My punishment calls, and fate and time shall soon be here. I will return you to Sigil if you wish. That is not my wish. Fall from Grace reaches forward and her hand lightly touches your arm. There's a slight tingling sensation barely felt, then she takes it away. I will find you again, no matter where in the lower planes you will be, just as you shall be able to find me. It may be a long time. Where I am bound, time is not measured in years, and the crimes I have committed are stronger than any cage. No cage shall separate us, and no plane shall divide us. Fallen from Grace's face becomes like stone. Keep thinking of me, and we shall meet again. I shall not forget all you sacrificed for me. Just don't forget me. Time lays waste to all things, but I shall fight it as long as I can.
Enemy forever is.
Perhaps so. Farewell, Grace. Alright, so that is the ending of Planescape Torment. I think that is probably the most effective ending. That was an amazing game. I'm very impressed with the writing. I'm actually probably going to make a video soon about writing in modern media and how some of the mistakes that are so common in writing. I really enjoyed this. The entire setting is very interesting, very unique. You can just dive straight into this game, and there's just so much to it. I really enjoyed that. Let's see. So, I think that if I was going to tie an epilogue to this, by the end of the game, if you take that option, if you learn your true name and you become that kind of a force, that character was something like level 50-something almost by the end of the game. I gained 11 levels just from that. I'd say I was probably about level 45. In terms of like 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons, that character is on par with a god. And that's before he merges with the other aspect of him, with his own mortality. And he's now going into the Blood War. I don't think it's beyond reason to think that this character would find access to sort of like divine essence and become an actual god. So anyway, so I feel like in terms of epilogue, at the very least, Fall from Grace and probably several of the others would probably team up, and they could have an entire new journey through the planes, like going through the divine ascension, so to speak, of this character. So that's pretty cool. But I really, really enjoyed this game. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I didn't do in this game because I felt like I wanted to have a more focused experience. I definitely know that I missed certain side quests and certain things. I missed an entire character. I have an idea of where they are. They're somewhere in Cursed. I missed a character. Just they were there somewhere and I didn't see them. Let's see. And what else do I want to talk about while we go through all of the credits? So yeah, I really like the game. I've never managed to get through the entire game before. I'm not sure why. I remember I started playing it a while back, and then I just stopped playing it for some reason I don't know, and I lost the disc eventually. So I'm really glad that I finally finished this game, and it's really brought back my faith that yes, there are in fact things in this world that are well written. I've had a lot of bad experiences with writing recently, and it's nice to go into something that's very well written. The combat system felt really clean. I was actually really surprised. I remember the combat system of this game being weaker than the Baldur's Gate series, but I think that the way that they handled it, which I think they just sped up the rounds to be every 2 seconds. I think the entire game is just sped up to about triple the speed of Baldur's Gate. And to me, it felt really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm really glad that they did that. I loved the combat system. It kind of felt like a sort of a mixture between Baldur's Gate and Diablo. If they had a more robust spell system, I think that it would be just clearly better. I think that this implementation, the 2 second rounds instead of 6 second rounds, is at least I think it's 2 seconds. It might be three, but it's clear that the rounds are happening faster in this one. But I think it's a 2 second round, and that system works so well that I feel like if you took the other Infinity Engine games and sped them up, it would give a much better experience, and it would make it much more high intensity. Like, I can only imagine how Baldur's Gate would play with 2 second rounds, and someone should totally make a mod for that. That would be great. So, anyway, so I think that's enough jabbering from me for now. That's going to be it for right now. I'm going to probably start up another stream in a little bit of whatever I decide to go with next. I might just continue into the next Torment game, actually. I've heard mixed reviews about the new Torment game, but I found that did I win? Yes, I did. I won. I've heard mixed reviews about the next Torment game, and I'd like to see it for myself because I find that I very rarely necessarily agree with other people's comments on like plot and story and narrative. Because I'm focused on different things. I have a very character-focused idea of narrative, and so when a narrative doesn't have clear motivations for the characters, it really bugs me. So anyway, that's going to be it for right now. I will be starting up the new Torment probably in about, I'd guess about 30 minutes. I think I'm going to be doing that. I'm just going to move right into it because I really enjoyed this and I want to see how the next one goes. So thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure to stream this for you all today, and I hope to see you again next time. I might actually do this game again at some point using a different character who's going to be more chaotic, a little bit more like off the wall and crazy. We'll see how that goes. But for now, we're going to start up Torment. Later, folks.